Before you start evaluating others, you need to evaluate yourself. What kind of deposits are you making? What kind of withdrawals are you taking?
You are now tuning in to the Roughnecks podcast with your host, Cole Nixon. Much love.
One last thing before we get into today's episode. A lot of people ask how they can support the podcast. Well, I have a couple easy ways. The first way is just listen and subscribe. And another thing you can do is go follow the Roughnecks podcast on social media. We're on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube as well. If you get something out of today's show, then do me a favor. Share it with a friend. If you really want to go above and beyond to support the podcast, then head over to roughneckspodcast.com and get you some of that merch. I appreciate all of the support, but let's get into today's episode.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Roughnecks podcast. If you can hear my mouse clicking, I apologize. First off is I've been a little MIA. Soundboard is broken. Been working on a lot of stuff, but we'll get into that in a second. But happy December. It is hard to believe that we are already in the month of December and getting closer and closer to the end of the year of 2022. It is we're almost to 2023. But this is episode 132, which makes this Fast Friday number 18. And that being said, since this is a Fast Friday, you guys know the deal. We start with announcements. And if this is your first episode or the first Friday that you have ever tuned into, this is kind of how Fast Fridays work. I kick off the episode with the Roughnecks announcements and things that are coming up. And then we just kind of get into some stuff that's been on my mind. But first announcement is happy birthday. Very special birthday shout out to a 2-time guest and person that has a very special place in my heart. Happy birthday to the one and only Sierra McConnell. She is what keeps the wheels on this podcast bus going round and round, and my wheels going round and round most of the time, if I'm being honest. So super happy birthday to her. Love you. Thank you for everything that you do. But my next announcement is about the inconsistency with the episodes. Lately, it has been crazy, honestly, and I haven't been on my game personally. My life has been a little out of order. But we're getting back on track slowly, dialing in on my personal deep work and personal growth, be better and get that focus back on track. Been getting guests lined up and scheduled, and we will finish out the year very strong and set the tone for a strong start to the year of 2023. But something I need you guys' help with is questions. Q&A Friday is coming up, and at the end of this month, actually, and I need questions from you as a fan. These questions can be literally about anything and everything. Make them fun, make them awkward, make them deep. It doesn't matter. Just email your questions in. And for those of you who don't know, Q&A Friday is where me and a guest, it's every 10 episodes, will sit and answer questions from you, the fans. These questions could be about anything and everything. All you have to do is email them over to roughneckspodcast@gmail.com. I should be having Nolan Tucker on for this Q&A, and you guys seem to really like him. So make these questions good. But final announcement is that we did have the 2022 fall merch drop. It was kind of in winter, but kind of not. I don't know. It depends on where you're from. Here in Ohio, it's like cold, but it's still not quite winter. It's like that second fall. It's like we've been having that second fall, first winter. I don't even know. But, we have different weird seasons here in Ohio. But we did have the fall merch drop just about a week ago, and if you head over to roughneckspodcast.com, you can find all this new merch, including, I got some hunting shirts, a hunting sweatshirt, a few new hats, some coffee mugs that I just came off with, tea mugs, whatever you want to call them. But be sure to check that out. We are approaching on Christmas, and it's not too late to order your loved ones some of that awesome Roughnecks gear. I will be having some promos throughout the month, so be on the lookout for that for a little discount off your order. But head over to roughneckspodcast.com and get yourself some Roughnecks merch. But let's dive into today's episode, I guess. That's all the announcements I have. So, lately, something that I don't know, it's one of the things like I feel like I've been laying in bed thinking about, and I've been taking a deeper look at who I really need in my life. Some people like to run around with a ton of people whom they call their friends, which is fine. But whenever I look at large groups, like I know a few of them, there's high school groups that have been running around since high school. There's like 12 of them, 14 of them, 20 of them, and they're all super good friends. I'm like, how close are they really? I don't know. I've never really been that type of person. I've kind of always kept my circle fairly small. A lot of my friends who you here come on, that's all I got. I keep it small. I listen to a lot of people, and I am friendly with a lot of people. But when it comes to people that I can trust, the people that I really want in my life, I keep it small. And sometimes that's something that you need to look at is, who do I want in my life? And it's hard for people, especially today, where everyone gets their feelings hurt and we don't want to hurt anyone's feelings and we want to give participation trophies and all this bullshit, which I understand to a degree, but I also feel like it's a bunch of bullshit. Sometimes we have to be willing to cut someone out of our lives, even if it hurts their feelings, because it might be what's best for you. Something that you have to do is you have to take into account their deposits and their withdrawals into your life. I'm not talking about, the money at the bank, even though you also need to do that with our money, but that's not what we're talking about today. That's a whole different episode I could potentially make. I don't know if you want money advice from me, but I'm talking about deposits and withdrawal that people are making into your life. Look at your closest friends, the people you trust. You even have to evaluate your family, which can be very difficult, especially if you're coming from a family that's super close knit, like the one that, I'm a part of. The people that you are closest with in your life, or even those people that, you can't tell, like, do I want to let this person in? Do I not? What kind of deposits are they making on your life? Are they making positive? Are they pushing you to be better? Are they, are these deposits something beneficial for you? Okay, so you got your list of deposits now. Now, what withdrawals are they making from your life? Are they always wanting something? Are they using you for this, using you for that? Do the deposits outweigh the withdrawals? And if they don't, then that might be someone that you need to kick out of your life. This is something that you could look at on a different sense of, working out. What deposits do you get? What withdrawals do you have? The deposits will always outweigh the withdrawals most of the time. There's very few cases that might flip. So it's something that you need in your life. Drinking. Some people have way more withdrawals than deposits. You might have to cut it out. Now, I want you to also think, I don't want you to be like, oh, this week, Johnny has been, he's just been all about, he's been using me for this. But you've known Johnny for 10 years, and he has made more deposits into your life over the past 10 years than withdrawals. You have to outweigh the entire picture, too. You can't just look at this certain time frame. Now, if it continues and there is a pattern that continues, then yeah, that might be something that you have to consider. But you can't, you always have to look at it. I mean, think of it in a business situation. If you have Janet, who has been working for you for 10 years, and, her production has really slipped lately. Like, she's always been a rock star, but her production has really slipped lately. But, for the past 3 months, it's been bad. And do you get rid of her? Even though she has put in 10 years to this company and has been one of your best employees, but just because she had a bad 3 months, you get rid of her. She's put more deposits into the company than withdrawals, so therefore you want to keep her. Now, if you've had someone for 3 months, it's their first 3 months, and they've been bad for 2 of them. They've done more withdrawals for the company than deposits. It's time to get rid of them. And sometimes you have to cut these. And the hardest person to do this with is a really close friend who or somebody you considered a really close friend, or B, family. You have to be willing to cut people out, though, because if you never cut people out, there's going to be a lot of withdrawals taken from your life. And how many deposits are you getting? Now, here's the other thing that you really need to think about, too. What kind of deposits am I putting into other people's lives? What kind of withdrawals am I taking from other people's lives? Am I the type of person that people deserve to have in their life, or do I deserve to be in their life? Because if I'm taking more withdrawals, I don't deserve to be in their life. And I can't get angry at them when they're like, hey, hit the road. I don't ever want to be around you. You have to pay attention to how many deposits and withdrawals you are putting into other people's lives, what you're doing with other people's lives, because that is very important. Connections are everything. We've talked about this a million times on this podcast. Connections are everything. Use them wisely. Don't make it a withdrawal. If you meet someone finally for the first time and you want to pick their brain, make it a deposit. Deposit something into their life. Don't just withdraw. Be willing to cut people out, even when it's the tough thing to do, because it might just be the best thing that you ever did in your life. It could change the course of your life. It could take you out of that rut. It could take you off that path that you were taking that was not so good. Evaluate deposits and withdrawals. Not only what people are doing with you, but what you are doing to other people. And I think before you start evaluating others, words are hard tonight. Before you start evaluating others, you need to evaluate yourself. What kind of deposits are you making? What kind of withdrawals are you taking? Just something to think about. I got one more thing before I let you guys go today. Don't forget that I have partnered up with Desert Fox Golf. They have a ton of great gifts, and it is Christmas time. You're going to need it. They have these things called the phone caddies that hook right onto the golf cart and hold your phone. So if you're somebody like me who likes to use a golf app when they're golfing, it's right there, convenient for you. You don't have to have it in your pocket or just in a random cubby. It's right there. Convenience is everything. And the phone caddy is just that. It's convenience, and it is awesome. They also have a cigar attachment for it underneath. If you like to smoke a cigar, when you go up to hit, you just put your cigar right there. Then it's easy to grab. You don't have to set it on the ground or set it on the golf cart, whatever. But they have those. And of course, they have the my favorite item, the comical Swing 8 tumblers. Go check those out. They have different versions of those, and I use mine all the time, actually drinking out of mine as we speak. But head over to Desert Golf Fox. Wow, words are struggling tonight. Head over to desertfoxgolf.com and use the discount code Roughnecks for 10% off your order. And that's all I got for you guys today. Until Monday, I got an awesome episode super excited about. Life is hard, and it's going to knock you down just like a bull does to a bull rider. Don't let that bull of life walk all over you. Get up, take the bull by the horns, and take control of your life. Roughnecks, out.
Thank you all for tuning in to this week's episode of the Roughnecks podcast. If you liked today's episode, then be sure to subscribe, rate, and review, and share it with a friend if you got some value from it. Head over to social media and follow the Roughnecks podcast on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, and subscribe to that YouTube channel. Don't forget to get you some of that merch by heading over to roughneckspodcast.com and subscribe to the newsletter while you're there. See y'all next week. Roughnecks, out.